Community of Gilbert by 10 this morning. It'll get closer to Lexington High School by 10:15. So if you have any students or teachers that you know of at Lexington High School, give them the heads up as to what's headed their way. They're not in a tornado warning at this moment, just outside of the warning box, but keep in mind that this system will continue to move off to the east. If we can, Sandra, let's zoom on in and stop the loop and see where this particular rotation is currently over right now. Just to the east of Ridge Spring, that's going to be near State Highway 23, near Highway 1, just to the north and northwest of Monetta. And so you'll need to, if you live along State Highway 23 through Batesburg, Leesville, you're going to need to be in your tornado safe place. That's going to be State Highway 23. There's Highway 1. This is the rotation that is allowed for the National Weather Service to issue this tornado warning. And so that's going to be just to the north and northwest of State Highway 23, as well as Highway 1. If you happen to live along State Highway 381, that's going to be just to the north of downtown Batesburg, Leesville. Make sure you're headed to your tornado safe place. We'll move this a little bit over and go a little bit farther downstream so we can see as to the leading edge of the polygon near Gilbert as to who else needs to go ahead and head to their tornado safe place. Gilbert, all up and down Highway 1 around Gilbert, Batesburg, Leesville. If you live in between these communities of Gilbert and Batesburg, Leesville, you're going to need to head to your tornado safe place. Again, that's going to be within the interior portion of your home, maybe a closet, maybe a hallway underneath the staircase. Just keep in mind that you're going to want to make sure you have a helmet or pillows or blankets to help protect yourself and keep yourself safe as this tornado-warned storm continues to move off to the north and to the east. There is not a confirmed tornado with this at this time. As we look into the National Weather Service chat, we collaborate them on these warnings, and not a confirmed tornado, but radar-indicated rotation that leads them to believe a tornado could form if it were to continue to tighten up. The rotation in question is now east of Ridge Spring. If you're east of State Highway 39, you're okay. To the west of State Highway 39, you're okay. To the west of Ridge Spring, you're okay. But if you are east of Ridge Spring throughout Batesburg, Leesville, Summit by 9:42 this morning, Gilbert by 9:44 this morning, this is going to be the area where you're going to need to head to your tornado safe place. That's going to be along Highway 1, State Highway 23 that runs through Batesburg, Leesville. Also, if you live along 178, State Highway 245 through downtown Batesburg, Leesville. These are going to be some areas where you'll need to head to your tornado safe place. Sandra, is there anything that you're seeing from the National Weather Service, or is there anything that you're seeing on radar worth note as this tornado warning continues to move off to the east and northeast?
No, I have not seen any reports of any kind of damage or anything or any sightings at this time, looking at the National Weather Service chat. So they have not said anything about this particular warning as far as any confirmations.
Okay, so that's some good news. We haven't seen anything confirmed as far as a confirmed tornado warning, but we do have radar indication that would suggest that this tornado-warned storm is capable of producing a tornado. The rotation that was warned by the National Weather Service, it's going to be just to the north of State Highway 23, where you see these greens matching up with these reds. And these greens and reds, what they indicate are winds that are headed towards and away from the radar site that's at CAE, or the airport near downtown Columbia. And so as these reds and greens come together, that means there's rotation that's possible. And as far as the stronger looking rotation, that's why they issued the tornado warning, is because there's enough of a couplet or a pairing of these reds and greens to suggest that there is the possibility a tornado could form. This tornado warning will continue until 10 o'clock this morning. The rotation, Sandra, not looking nearly as impressive on this last scan of our first alert radar, but certainly with these types of systems where we have a very thin line of storms, you can see these rotations flare up and down.
We did get a report of a 52-mile-per-hour gust at Newberry. That is the only thing that I've seen as far as reports with the severe weather that we're having this morning for our viewing area.
Yeah, and there's also a lake wind advisory in effect that was issued yesterday and has gone into effect until 8 this evening. And so in general, with this cold front passing through, it is breezy. And there's also going to be the opportunity for consistent winds, not only in association with these thunderstorms, but just in general through the rest of this morning and into the afternoon. If this were to hold together a little bit farther downstream, you can notice this is headed off to the east and northeast towards Malfunction Junction, the I-26, 126 corridor, but that's an if. That is something that we will watch closely, and if this rotation is able to maintain itself, it will be headed towards downtown Lexington as well as a close interaction with downtown Columbia as well. Something we're going to keep an eye out for. At this time, though, the tornado warning remains in effect around Batesburg, Leesville. The leading edge of the reflectivity is where we would keep an eye out for this rotation. And we can switch over to our velocity product and we can show you the particular pocket of rotation that was previously warned. There it was. It happened quickly. You can see it here near State Highway 23. That's what triggered the warning. And so the rotation a little broader as of the latest scan, but it's right over downtown Batesburg, Leesville. So if you have any family or friends in Gilbert, give them a friendly heads up that they'll need to head to their tornado safe place. Again, that's going to be away from any exterior wall or window, as far to the interior of your home as you could possibly be. Again, no type of glass nearby, no windows, no doors nearby, as far to the interior of your home as you can get. If you happen to have a basement, that would be great as well. Just keep in mind that we're going to be watching closely along Highway 1 near Gilbert. So if you're in Gilbert, make sure you're headed to your safe place. This tornado warning is going to continue until 10 a.m. this morning. That's how long this tornado warning is in effect, is going to be until 10 a.m. If we can, Sandra, could we stop the loop and zoom in a little bit throughout the rest of the warning box to show where this particular rotation that was warned is headed? And we'll keep an eye out, again, really anywhere along Highway 1 in Lexington County between Batesburg, Leesville, and Gilbert. Give your family or friends in this area a friendly heads up to head to their tornado safe place. And remember, if you're not watching us on the broadcast, or you want to continue to watch us on the broadcast, you can download our First Alert weather app. You can also view us on WISTV.com, and you can stream us there as we continue coverage. You can download our First Alert weather app too. And by downloading this First Alert weather app, you'll get any and all of your latest notifications by scanning that QR code that you see there on your screen. That is where you can get any and all of this weather information, news information as well. And that's free and easy to use in your phone's app store. You can download it by scanning the QR code or typing in WISTV in your phone's app store. So we'll get back over to our First Alert radar. Again, a tornado warning has been issued by the National Weather Service. New notification coming in here. They've slimmed up the box or polygon a little bit. The shading of red has now moved a little farther eastward as they take out some communities who are now in a safe place. That's going to include Ridge Spring is in a safe place now. So if you're around Ridge Spring, you have been removed from the polygon. And if we're able to, can we zoom in here and get a little bit closer to where this rotation is, and we can head over to our velocity product and get another look. So it's going to be right around Batesburg, Leesville, throughout downtown Batesburg, Leesville, where this particular rotation has been noted by the National Weather Service. That's going to be along State Highway 245, Highway 1 that runs right through downtown Batesburg, Leesville is going to be the place where we're keeping a very close eye out as far as the rotation that the National Weather Service is watching closely. So again, that's downtown Batesburg, Leesville. That'll continue over the next couple of minutes. A little farther to the east, Gilbert at 9:44 this morning, Summit at 9:42 this morning. So if you live in Summit, if you live in Gilbert, if you're up and down or along State Highway 23 or Highway 1, make sure that you're in your tornado safe place. That's going to be away from any windows, away from any exterior portions of your home, as far to the interior as you could possibly be. That's where you're going to want to go for this tornado warning that remains in effect until 10 a.m. Looking in the National Weather Service chat, Sandra, are you seeing anything at this time as far as any updates from the National Weather Service for the tornado warning?
The only thing that they have said is that, yes, there is a tornado warning, but no reports on the ground yet.
Okay, so that's some great news. And, you know, these tornado warnings can often happen quickly in these types of quick-moving cold fronts. And so what we watch for are these pockets of rotation that can briefly pulse up or briefly get strong enough to support pockets of rotation that would lead to a tornado warning. And so this is along the leading edge of our cold front. If we could really quickly, Sandra, could we zoom out and just kind of give an overall setup as to how radar's looking at this time? We've got widespread severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. That's all the way through Aiken County, now exiting Saluda and Newberry counties, throughout parts of Lexington County right now. And the leading edge of these showers and thunderstorms are continuing to make their way towards Lexington and eventually towards downtown Columbia as we head throughout the next 45 minutes to an hour. And so that's what we're going to watch out for closely as we get through the next couple of hours. Sandra is drawing a track as to where the core of these storms are headed as we head throughout the next couple of hours throughout this morning. And just know that a little, somewhere such as downtown Columbia, in and out of Columbia on I-20, this is your first alert or a heads up as to what we'll keep an eye out for you as we head throughout the next little bit. And so we'll start to see the leading edge of this rain and thunder make its way towards Winsboro by 9:50 this morning, coming up at 9:58 through Pelion, and then 10:11 this morning through downtown Columbia. So we've got about 30 or so minutes until downtown Columbia is getting a little bit closer to the leading edge of this cold front. And again, that's going to continue as this tornado warning was issued. And so what we'll watch out for as we head throughout the next hour or two is going to be all up and down this line. There will be brief pulses within the line that could support a tornado warning or pockets of rotation where the reds and greens match up to support a tornado warning. That's why our friends at the National Weather Service issued this particular warning, was because they saw a pocket of rotation or a pocket of where the reds and greens come together as a couplet to then in turn support the potential for a tornado to develop. And at this time, Sandra, have you seen any type of word from the National Weather Service or confirmation as to there being some type of tornado on the ground? Or just
no, the last thing that they have said is that there's been no reports on the ground yet. So that is some good news, but of course you always want to treat every tornado warning as if there is a tornado that has been sighted, so you want to go to your safe place. If you are viewing us from Batesburg, Leesville, and also up towards Gilbert, you want to go to your safe place. What you really want to do is you want to put as many walls between you and the storm. So the lowest level of your home, an interior closet, maybe your bathroom. So just as long as you put as many walls between you and that storm and get to the lowest level of a sturdy structure. So again, we continue to track this tornado warning in effect for portions. There's actually, I'm being told we have a live feed of the transmitter camera.
Oh yeah, that's the top of our transmitter camera showing our gray sky right now. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is pointed off to the northeast, and so that's going to be Kershaw County. If we can we do our Bull Street Studios camera, please? That one's going to be off to the west towards this line of storms. Okay, and so they're getting that queued up for us. In the meantime, though, Sandra, what were you saying about the tornado warning through downtown Batesburg, Leesville?
Yes, we're still tracking this tornado warning. We do have something that just came out. Rotation has moved to the north of I-20 now, moving generally in the direction of the southwestern shore of Lake Murray. And so the tornado warning remains in effect. Again, it's not been sighted on the ground, but they're still seeing that rotation in the upper levels of the atmosphere.
Yeah, and so the tornado warning itself will continue until they deem it safe enough to let it expire or cancel. This is a look from the top of our Bull Street Studios. This is pointed west towards this area where the showers and storms are headed our way, and also towards this tornado warning. So if you look just over the, that's going to be just over the tower of the Bank of America and the other bank building there that's through just to the right side of your screen. That's where the particular warned storm is currently located as far as from the vantage point of our Bull Street Studios camera. And so we'll keep an eye out on that, and we do have the opportunity, if we need to, we can switch over and check that out as we kind of get some confirmation from it. from the National Weather Service. We've got a brand new warning coming into the First Alert Weather Center, or at least an update, and this is going to be a new tornado warning, Sandra, coming from the National Weather Service. It looks like they've got a spin up to the south of Chapin over northern Lake Murray. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's more of a signature hook, so to speak, as to where the rotation is located. And so within this area that I just showed you, notice how we had this quick looking hook and then it kind of flattened out a little bit. When you've got these quick moving cold fronts, oftentimes these spin ups are brief, but they have moments where they are briefly strong and then they also can just as quickly fall apart. So this brand new tornado warning that we've got here into the First Alert Weather Center, Sandra, I'm getting some of the data pulled up for it here on the iPad. We'll continue to keep an eye out for it, but it is moving off to the east and northeast, and once this warning loads into our service from the National Weather Service, we'll bring you the first alert as to the timing and how long this warning is in effect. But currently, as of this time, nothing is loaded in for us. Are you seeing anything on your end over there, Sandra, as to?
I have not seen anything about the new tornado warning just yet.
Okay, but we know this is moving relatively off to the east and northeast, and there it is just coming in here at 9:40. So this tornado warning, Sandra, is moving off to the east at 35 miles per hour, and it's in effect until 10:15 this morning. And so that's going to be throughout parts of Fairfield, Newberry, Lexington, and Richland counties. This is the same situation, a tornado capable of, or a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Dreher Island State Park, just to the northwest of the Lake Murray Dam, moving east at about 35 miles per hour. So this will continue to move towards Ballantyne and White Rock as we head throughout the next 5 to 10 minutes. So White Rock, Ballantyne, that's going to be close to Lake Murray. In and out of State Highway 6, State Highway 215. These are going to be the communities where we have got the opportunity for this tornado-warned storm to move through. So if you're in Ballantyne, if you're along 176, please head to your tornado safe place. Again, that's the leading edge of the warning, or the leading edge of where our couplet or our velocities were matching, and so that is why there was a tornado warning that was issued. This will continue to, again, move off to the east and northeast towards Ballantyne by 9:50 this morning, towards Irmo by 9:56 this morning. So if you live right around Broad River, I-26, a little bit closer to 215, these are going to be some communities where you're going to want to make sure you head to your tornado safe place. And we're getting another warning into the First Alert Weather Center. I'll get that popped up here. That's a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued, Sandra, it looks like. And yes, that was. So that's going to be this new polygon here, or new box, that is extended all the way across Richland County, Kershaw County, all throughout Fairfield County as well. So that's the new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued by the National Weather Service. And they put the tornado possible tag on it simply because there's pockets where along this line we could briefly see a spin-up tornado, or see enough velocity signatures of greens and reds matching to deem there be rotation that's strong enough to warrant a tornado warning. And so this line itself continuing to march through the heart of the Midlands. Remember, we were talking a little bit earlier on sunrise between 10 and 11 o'clock, the arrival throughout parts of Lexington and Richland County. So a little fast by about 30 minutes, but still, that's what we're keeping an eye out for as this line continues to move off to the east and to the northeast. If we could, Sandra, could we zoom back in on this tornado warning that we just issued, or just had issued near Lake Murray? So that's going to be right over Lake Murray, right over Dreher Island State Park. That's going to continue to move off to the east and northeast. And so Irmo, all up and down 26. If you live near Irmo, if you live to the north of Irmo, you're going to want to head towards your tornado safe place. Remember, far interior portion of your home, away from any type of walls or windows. Cedar Creek is within this tornado warning. State Highway 215, close to Lake Murray, is going to be within this tornado warning as well. And if we can we switch over to our velocity product, Sandra, and let's see where this particular pocket of rotation is at. And to you, does that look like, something a little flatter, where that original hook looks like it may have...
yeah, it was showing a better signature earlier, when they first issued the tornado warning, it did look like it was showing more rotation at that time. But as of right now, it's not as defined as it was earlier. But of course, you want to treat this as a tornado has been sighted, treat every tornado warning like that, because things, situations can change quickly. We could have it, the circulation, reach the ground in no time. So again, you always treat every tornado warning as if one has been sighted and confirmed, just to be safe. So what you want to do is that you want to go to your safe place. You want to go to the lowest level and put as many walls between you and the storm, so such as an interior closet, your bathroom, anything like that, or underneath the stairwell, just something to give you protection from a possible tornado. So again, I can put this into motion and show you that earlier it was showing, just quickly, it was showing a better signature of rotation, I should say, earlier, but now it is not looking as defined, which is some good news, but you still want to stay in your safe place. So again, this particular tornado warning for around the Lake Murray area. So again, I'm not seeing anything as I'm looking on chat. No, I'm not seeing anything other than just saying that a new spin up south of Chapin over northern Lake Murray. So again, they're just continuing that tornado warning, and it remains in effect. Both warnings actually remain in effect.
Yeah, that looks to be the case for us, Sandra, and I think they're going to allow for both of these to continue until they see something that is completely flat along the line. But with the nature of these types of fast-moving cold fronts, there can certainly be opportunities to have a quick spin-up, similar to both of these warnings that we've had so far. And so, Sandra, if we could we zoom in on this bottom tornado warning? This is going to be... Yes, this one here, they canceled parts of the warning for Batesburg, Leesville. So Batesburg, Leesville, you can come out of your tornado safe place. You are away from the rotation that was being indicated on radar that could produce a tornado. Nothing confirmed, but just know that the leading edge of this line and the rotation starting to move east of Gilbert. Still in Gilbert, I'd give it about 2, 3, 4 more minutes before you can come out of your tornado safe place. We still need to get this rotation a little bit farther away from you. And keep in mind, we will bring you the first alert if we have a new tornado warning issued farther downstream. But I would say if you have any family or friends or loved ones in Lexington, around Lexington High School, throughout downtown Lexington, give them a heads up at the least that they're going to need to watch this closely to see if we have this tornado warning end up being extended further downstream. But the good news, State Highway 245, all throughout Batesburg, Leesville, you are in your safe place and you can come out of there. That is okay. You are out of the tornado warning polygon, and for the next 30, 45 minutes, it'll just be general rain. Your severe threat is greatly diminishing. So you can see just some greens, just some yellows for you at this time. The main chance of severe weather is going to be along the leading edge of this cold front. And so if we can we go back to the cold front that's a little farther to the north, the second polygon here. Sandra, give an update as to where this couplet is headed. It looks like maybe this part of the line you think maybe has some rotation in it. How about that right there?
Yeah, the tornado warning, this tornado warning for Fairfield County, also southeastern Newberry County, north central Lexington County, and northwestern Richland County will continue until 10:15. And again, as I'm checking the National Weather Service, they have not had any confirmations of anything actually being on the ground, but because the radar did indicate rotation, they issued that warning, and it's in effect until 10:15 for this particular one. But as I put the relative velocity on, or storm relative velocity, and put this into motion, I'm not seeing, again, that one time when they first issued it is probably the best signature that they've had so far, although we'll continue to watch this very closely.
Yeah, Sandra, we're just going to continue to keep an eye out, especially on these notches where we can have a quick moving instance of a tornado being able to quickly develop before also then being able to quickly fall apart. That's the nature of these quick moving cold fronts, is that they often have these brief spin-ups that happen fast, but the velocity itself, or the couplets of rotation themselves as well, can fall apart just as quickly as they develop. So Sandra's drawing out a forecast track as to where this next pocket of rotation is currently headed, the area within the tornado warning that we're going to watch closely. Ballantine, hopefully you already had an opportunity to head to your tornado safe place. If not, you still have time to get there. Remember, far interior portion of your home, away from any exterior walls or windows. This is going to continue to move downstream and off to the east at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. This tornado warning is in effect until 10:15. This will continue to move off to the east. Littleton by 9:58 this morning. Find your tornado place as well. Again, far interior portions of your home, away from any walls or windows. This will continue to move towards Cedar Creek by 10:02 this morning. So State Highway 215. Also along State Highway 60, the particular area we're going to keep an eye out for over the next few minutes is going to be right around Ballantine, east of Ballantine as well, around Littleton, Cedar Creek, State Highway 215. That's going to be well to the north of the mall, well to the north of St. Andrews. St. Andrews, you're not in any tornado warning at this time, but well to the north around Irmo, Ballantine, Littleton, Cedar Creek. This is going to continue to move off to the north and east. If this tornado warning were to continue past 10:15, Blythewood, I would say yours is what you would need to keep an eye out for. So if you have any friends, family in Blythewood, give them a heads up as to at least have something they need to watch as we head throughout these next 30 to 45 minutes. This line will continue to move off to the north and to the east, and it looks like the good news, Sandra, is that the National Weather Service has canceled this tornado warning that was to the south of us, or to the south of Ballantine, the first warning that brought us on the air. Looks like they've canceled that warning, Sandra.
Yeah, it's definitely some good news, and we were looking at it earlier, and again, it did not show as good of rotation as it had when they first issued the warning. But again, they are not talking about tracking any further rotation at this point with that particular part of this line of showers and storms. So some good news there, as Chandler has just said as well. But again, we continue to track this one tornado warning that remains in effect until 10:15 for portions of Fairfield County, northwestern portions of Richland County, and also portions of Lexington County at this time. And we can actually see another potential threat with these storms is, of course, the tornadic possibility, but also we are looking at the potential for hail with any of these storms. Not really seeing any hail coming up on the Doppler radar just yet, but we'll continue to watch that for you as well. Not seeing a lot of lightning with these storms, but again, obviously seeing some heavy rainfall, and that potential for tornadic development is there. So again, we're continuing to track rotation. I can put the relative velocity back on there for you and take off. Oh, and we've got it looks like they have issued a new tornado warning.
Yeah, right there on this notch. Let's go ahead and zoom in right there if we can, and get over to this part of the tornado warning again. That's just to the west of State Highway 6. And this polygon does include downtown Columbia. And so if you are in and around Columbia, especially the north side of town, if you happen to live near the hospital, north and west of downtown Columbia, that's going to be an area where you're going to want to head to your tornado safe place. And the notch itself that triggered this tornado warning, if we could pause the loop here and get it zoomed off to the north, I'll get the details for you, Sandra, as you get ready to draw that out. And so this new tornado warning for parts of Lexington and Richland counties is going to be off to the east at 35 miles per hour. This is a brand new tornado warning for parts of Richland and Lexington counties, and that's going to be until 10:15 this morning. So Whitehall by 10 a.m., that's going to be where this tornado warning has been issued, and the tornado warning that's in effect. And so the area that we're keeping an eye out for, it's going to be right here to the west of State Highway 6. If we can, Sandra, let's zoom on in on this particular part of the tornado warning and get some a little bit closer to the street view, so to speak. So this is where the reds are meeting the greens. This notch, that means there's air coming into this storm that is wrapping itself in, the rotation coming together, the wind coming together as well. And so that's why this tornado warning was issued by the National Weather Service. That's going to be along State Highway 6. I'll step out your way here and read some of these names. Coldstream Drive, Thornhill Road, Whitefall Falls Drive along Bush River Road. If you live along Bush River Road, go ahead and head to your tornado safe place. That's going to be anywhere that is away from exterior parts of your home, away from walls, away from windows. If you can get into a closet, a bathroom, underneath a staircase, and while you're at it, if you can bring some blankets or pillows with you as well, that's all good. And keep in mind that you can watch us or stream us on wistv.com. If you're watching on TV and need to go to your tornado safe place, you can pull us up on your phone, your iPad, whatever it might be. Scan that QR code that's on your screen to do so. And again, that's going to be anywhere where that you can get your watches, your warnings, a look at First Alert radar, any and all of it free and easy to use by downloading our First Alert weather app. Scan that QR code on your screen or by typing in WIS on your phone's app store. So let's get back over to radar here. And we're still taking a look at our velocity product and our radar product. And so this again is going to be around Bush River Road. This is also going to be around Nursery Road, St. Andrews Road, Lochner Road, Piney Grove Road near Harbison. These are communities that are within this tornado warning. If we could, thank you, Sandra, for zooming out, and just want to talk a little bit further about the downstream as to where this is going to continue to head off to the north and to the east. And so if you live north of downtown Columbia near the hospital, if we can zoom in right here, there's Prisma Hospital downtown, a good portion of downtown Columbia included within this. Just to the west of Dentsville, there's going to be St. Andrews. That's going to be I-20. So if you live near St. Andrews around I-20, Highway 321 or Highway 21, these are going to be some communities where you're going to need to find your tornado safe place away from any exterior walls or windows, anything that is as far into the interior of your home. And if you have a basement, that works as well. And while you're at it, you can grab pillows, blankets, and again, a friendly reminder, you can watch us away from the TV if that's how you're watching it first. You can pull us up on your phone, on your iPad, and you continue to watch us in your tornado safe place while streaming us online. So Sandra is drawing out as to where this tornado warned storm continues to head. By 10:06 this morning, the core of it will be over St. Andrews. 10:02 this morning over Whitehall. 10:11 this morning, it'll continue to move towards Faro Road, State Highway 555. That's going to be where we'll keep an eye out for closer to 10:15 this morning. And so Sandra, we've still got 2 tornado warnings that are in effect. One of them just issued by the National Weather Service just to the north and northeast of downtown Columbia. And then a little bit farther up the line, we've still got this other tornado warning that's in effect for far north and northwestern portions of Lexington and Richland County. And it's this top warning as well that's been in effect for a little bit longer, and it'll continue to move off to the north and northeast. Are you seeing anything new in the SLAC, National Weather Service communication?
Not for our area, no. I'm not seeing anything new. But they did acknowledge that, these things, and Chandler had talked about it too, how, these spin-ups, they can happen quickly, and so things can change quickly, and they say these things are popping quick and dropping quick on the radar. So this is just something that is just another indication of why you should treat every tornado warning as if a tornado has been sighted, because things can change quickly. And so Chandler has talked about that, and also the National Weather Service is acknowledging that with this particular system that we have going through our area for this morning. So again, we still have a tornado warning in effect, the newest one for portions of Fairfield County. See if I can pull up some more information. I'm not seeing any updates on it just yet, but southern Fairfield County, southeastern Newberry County, also north central Lexington County, and northwestern Richland County, still in effect until 10:15. They issued it because they saw some rotation in the upper levels, the mid and upper levels. So again, nothing has been sighted on ground, but we continue to track that for you. So again, for Fairfield County, Newberry, Lexington, and Richland until 10:15. That is the one. That is the top one that we continue to watch for you. And it looks like it may be showing a little bit more rotation than it did just like a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and if we can, let's go ahead and pull up. Well, first we're going to toss over to Alex Ailey. Alex, are you getting any new updates right now? Is there anything that you're seeing at this time, or anything you want to tell us about information-wise?
Yeah, thank you, Chandler. We're taking a look right now at downtown Columbia. You can see the skies are pretty gray. We're not seeing any rain at any time. But again, those tornado warnings are still in effect. We are keeping an eye on them. Both our meteorologist, Sandra Brogan, and meteorologist Chandler Jordan are keeping us updated with the latest. Again, we're not seeing any damage at this time, but be sure to tune in. We are keeping our eyes close on this one.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. Sandra, is there anything that you're seeing over there that's coming in from the National Weather Service? I was getting caught up here over the last...
No, not for our area, no.
Okay.
The last thing was, them talking about how these things are, they're popping up and dropping off quickly. So, they're changing quickly. And, sometimes the rotation's not reaching the ground, and then it can just quickly do so. And that's why we are tracking this for you and letting you know to get to your safe place in these areas that are under a tornado-warned polygon.
And that's right. So we still have 2 of these tornado warnings that are in effect, and both of these are in place until 10:15 this morning. Let's get zoomed in here on this bottom warning, Sandra. Let's pull up velocity as well, and we'll get a better idea as to where the couplet that we're keeping an eye out for happens to be headed. So it's going to be along this leading edge where you're seeing the interaction of reds and greens. Remember, these reds and greens indicate winds that are coming towards and from the radar site. And so as they move towards and away, that's where we can kind of keep an eye out for couplets or pockets of rotation within the line. And right now it's relatively flat, although this one a little farther to the north, that one looks a little more pronounced. So these are going to be the types of couplets that we're going to be keeping an eye out for, where you're seeing more pronounced reds or greens. That means that there's some rapidly moving air that's being brought into this storm, and in turn around it some rotation. And so that's where we have this opportunity for a tornado warning to be issued and a brief spin-up tornado as well. And keep in mind that these can fall apart just as quickly as they come together. And so we'll move a little bit farther to the east or away from this couplet and go a little bit downstream, Sandra, so we can kind of get some roads in here as to where this couplet happens to be headed. I saw a campground road. There was State Highway 215. There's Landfill Road, Lost Creek Drive. I'll get out the way so y'all can see your communities. Montgomery Road, John End Road, Landfill Road, Nipper Creek Road, Taylor Chapel Road, Dipsy Doo Road, Campground Road. That's going to be all up and down and near State Highway 215. So if you know of anybody in this part of town or if in any of these communities, give them a heads up as to what's headed their way, which is going to be this couplet that we're watching, or this pairing of the red and greens that is continuing to move off to the east at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. So let's zoom back out a little bit, get a little more stable here, and let's turn on the reflectivity and see if we can see some notches in the rainfall. It's a little harder to see. Some of the air looks to be wrapping in here to the west at 215. That's going to be that same type of motion, your air wrapping into the storm and then in turn turning counterclockwise, and that's where you get these pairings of these reds and greens on our velocity, and you can kind of see that air inflow into the storm as well from our reflectivity product. So that's somewhere that we'll keep an eye out for. Again, the air rushing in to our west from our reds and greens, that comes together. We get the rotation, we get the motion. And from there, that's where the tornado warning is issued, because we have a couplet or a pairing of these reds and greens that is strong enough to indicate that there is some rotation worth monitoring and some rotation capable of producing a tornado warning. We'll go back down to this second warning. This one continues until 10:15 this morning, and it includes parts of Richland and Lexington counties as well. That's continuing to move off to the east, just to the north of downtown Columbia. So if we can, let's zoom in here a little bit. We'll get the radar loop stopped, and let's see where we're going to see if we can find any couplets on our first alert velocity product here within the tornado warning. So this is going to be where we're going to keep an eye out for, to the north of I-20, I'd say right here. That's a little bit of a notch where we have some inflow into the storm and then wrapping around the storm itself. And so that's going to be west of St. Andrews, west of I-26 at the interchange of I-20 and I-26. That's going to, again, wrap into the storm. We're seeing the air inflow and then wrapping around this couplet, wrapping around this signature, and in turn the tornado warning issued because of that. And so let's pause this, Sandra, and let's put a time loop out to give some folks a bit of a better idea as to where it's going to be headed. That's going to continue to move off to the east at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. Again, that's St. Andrews. Please make sure you're headed to your tornado safe place. That's going to be any far interior portions of your home, away from exterior walls, away from exterior windows. These are going to be some areas that you're going to want to head to pillows, blankets. Remember, you can also always watch us on your phone or your iPad. If you're traditionally, watching on the TV and you need to go to your safe place, remember, we've got a weather app. We've got our website as well, wistv.com, and you can watch us continuously on there as you head with your family and friends to your tornado safe place. And so that's going to be the case for St. Andrews, 10:07 this morning. A little bit farther down the line along I-20 as well as around Greenview, we've got this tornado warning that's in effect, and that's going to be right along portions of I-20. This is looking like it is just to the north of downtown Columbia, the couple at a close call. And so we've got the parts of the warning box or parts of the polygon that include parts of downtown Columbia. And so around Columbia, to the north of Columbia, the Prisma Children's Hospital, around Bull Street District, as well as around Killian and close to Killian. These are going to be some areas where you're going to want to head to your safe spot or get ready to head towards your safe spot, as well as along State Highway 555. We've got Highway 21 there as well. So anything to the north of Columbia is where we're seeing things. Sandra, what's going on?
I'm being told by our producers that we have a view of downtown Columbia, and you can see just how ominous the skies look. So you can see this is looking west, and so we are seeing that storm as it's moving towards the east, and you can see those dark skies. Again, we are tracking this tornado warning, and it looks like it could head just north of Columbia. But again, as we take a look at the reflectivity, we're seeing some heavy rain as well. And the rain has not reached St. Andrews just yet, but we want to also give everyone a heads up. So if you are watching us from Columbia, because you are in the tornado warned polygon, you want to go to your safe place and put as many walls between you and the storm. But as I'm looking at the reflectivity, we are seeing that light to moderate rain just now starting to make its way into St. Andrews. Also West Columbia, you're dry now, but that storm is heading eastward at about 35 miles per hour. So I'll zoom out a little bit more for you so you can get an idea of who else. So it looks like Irma, you're just on the outer fringes of the heaviest rain. And I could put this in motion for you and show you that this storm, this line of showers and storms, and a couple of these being severe thunderstorm warnings that have shown the possibility of producing a tornado. Again, as I'm checking the chat, not seeing any reports of damage or any sightings of a tornado, but they have issued, they just put out an update that they're continuing the tornado warning for Fairfield, Newberry, Lexington, and Richland counties, parts of those counties, until 10:15. So I'm not seeing any new information. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be the northern tornado warning, and you can tell they took off a chunk of it as well. And so, Chapin, you're okay. You're in a safe zone now. You can come out of your tornado safe place. Irmo, you're still a part of the polygon, although the core of the storm is moving away. So, Irmo, give me about 5 more minutes, and you can come out of your tornado safe place as well. Let's pause this loop here, Sandra, and see if we can find some of where these notches of rotation are. One of them being just to the west now of State Highway 215. Cedar Creek, you're almost in the clear. Cedar Creek, you can, in about 5 more minutes, come out of your tornado safe place. This is going to continue to move off to the east at about 45 miles per hour. And so where that places it as we head throughout the next few minutes, it's going to be close to Highway 21. Killian Road, you're out of the tornado polygon or box at this time, but keep in mind all around Killian, all up and down I-77 near Blythewood as well. If you have any family near Clemson Road, Killian, Farrow Road, Blythewood, tell them that they at least need to be keeping an eye out on the weather to see if we get a downstream warning that's issued. Both of these tornado warnings are in effect until 10:15. And an update here for us, Sandra, from the National Weather Service. They're getting a peak wind at Coast Guard Island of 45 miles per hour, Lake Murray Dam at 46 miles per hour. So those are some strong gusts of wind. And we're also getting a new warning here, or at least a continuation of a warning. That's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning, Sandra. Bamberg, Calhoun, Clarendon, and Orangeburg counties. And so we've got this big polygon or big box of warnings that was issued by the National Weather Service. And I'll click in here, Sandra, and get you some details so we can time this out really quickly before going back to our tornado warnings, moving east at about 50 miles per hour. And so that's going to include, again, Calhoun, Clarendon, Orangeburg, and Bamberg counties until 10:45 this morning. And so that's going to continue off to the east. And so just to give you a little bit of an idea as to when some of these opportunities for rain and thunder will return, closer to Orangeburg by about 10:45 this morning. Sandra's drawing, I should say, the warning part out as to where we're going to see more of these storms move towards St. Matthews by 10:54, Sumter by 11:19, and Manning by 11:50 this morning. So this thing, it's moving with some pace. This is a fast-moving cold front, so that's why our impact zone is very tight, but that window, as you can see, has been capable of producing some gusty winds and also some pockets of rotation that have led to tornado warnings. And so, Sandra, what we'll do for the last few minutes of both of these warnings, let's go ahead and zoom on in to the bottom warning here, and we'll kind of go through both of these warnings and see as to what we're looking for. And we'll switch over to velocity so we can kind of get a better idea of where the couplets are at. Getting a little bit of contamination of our radar data. Whenever you see these purples, that doesn't indicate anything. That's more so some contaminated data, but it looks like here, Sandra, would you agree some of these reds and greens might be a little bit of a notch trying to come together there?
Yeah, it does look like there is showing a couplet here where you were just pointing at, and I can actually put this into motion and see if it was holding together previously. It looks like it is holding together, at least within the last few frames there. So something that bears watching, definitely.
Yeah, and some, also looking at some of these frames, they pulse up and down. You see at times the couplet itself gets a little bit tighter, a little bit more of a red and green interaction, and then at times it starts to fall apart. That's the nature of these quick-moving cold fronts. When you have enough wind, especially close to the surface, you can have enough of this energy come together very briefly, and then things can fall apart just as quickly as they come together. And so again, this tornado warned storm is going to continue to move off to the east, and I'm checking in on an update here from the National Weather Service, Sandra. They're expiring both of these tornado warnings, it looks like. So we'll stay on the air until they expire, but it looks like we've got some good news, Sandra. The warnings are set to expire at 10:15.
Yeah, it looks like they're saying expires tornado warning for Lexington and Richland and for Fairfield and Richland. So some good news there. I guess they're seeing some weakening.
Yeah, no, and so that's good that we're getting this weakening. That's always good news, always a good sign that we're seeing some of these fall apart. And so that's great that we'll allow for both of these tornado warnings to expire at 10:15. And before we see these expire and get off the air, I know Alex Ailey is with us this morning. And Alex, to my knowledge, you've got some photos and videos to show us from Chapin.
Yeah, thank you, Chandler. We do have some pictures and some videos from Chapin just a few minutes ago as that tornado warning moved through that part of Lexington. You're looking at those pictures and videos outside of everything that's going on. Again, we are keeping a close eye on all of these tornado warnings that are in place. But again, stay up to date with all the latest information. You can download our free WIS News 10 weather app to stay up to date with everything as we track this in real time. But we'll send it back over to meteorologist Sandra Brogan. Sandra, something I want to talk about really quick is as we talk about safety and finding a safe space during these tornado warnings, what does that look like?
Well, what you want to do is you want to put as many walls between you and the storm, so you go to the lowest level of your home, the most interior room that you can, such as an interior hall closet or under a stairwell or, absolutely a bathroom. That can provide protection as well. And, the good news with these tornado warned storms that we've had so far, no confirmations of anything on the ground, but Chandler and I have been talking about how these conditions can change so abruptly. You need to treat every tornado warning as if it is something that has been confirmed, because the situation can change very quickly. It can change, the circulation can reach the ground just across the street from you. So again, it's definitely something that you want to bear in mind and take seriously. And again, we're watching this line of showers and storms. I'm going to zoom out for you and show you that we are not seeing the line be as defined, I should say, as we did earlier. It looks like it's kind of thinning out a little bit as well. But again, we've had rotation detected by radar in some of these storms. And so I would think they would be able to expire the top polygon here shortly, as it looks like the storms have moved out of that area. And I believe we're starting to hear the rain right here in downtown Columbia on Bull Street, right?
Yeah. If we can we take our Bull Street Studios camera? Yeah, so there's the rain. This is pointed westward for the leading edge making its way through downtown Columbia. Those low clouds, those are known as scud clouds. It's kind of just some fast-moving air that's in association with the leading edge of the cold front as it passes through. And so that's some good news, is that we have got these showers, these thunderstorms that are going to continue to move off to the south and to the east as we head throughout the next little bit of this morning. But now we're starting to get some rain into downtown Columbia, and it looks like here in about 20 seconds, Sandra, these tornado warnings are going to be allowed to expire. There is another tornado warning, though, that was just issued for Bamberg County, and this is in effect until 10:45 this morning. And so if we can we switch back over to radar and go a little bit farther to the south? That's going to be our new tornado warning. This is in Bamberg County, just to the south of downtown Bamberg, right along 601. And so they're keeping an eye out on the velocity product to the west of Olar. I hope I'm saying that right for you there in Olar, along Highway 321. That's where this tornado warning is now in effect and will stay in effect until 10:45 this morning. Sandra, when you get the chance, can we get a storm track? It's moving eastward at 30 miles per hour. So that's the pace at which this couplet, or this pairing of red and green, is moving on our satellite and radar product and our velocity product this morning. So that's going to be, again, Olar here over the next few minutes. Make sure you head to your tornado safe place. Highway 301, Highway 78 is a part of this, as well as Highway 601. So 301 and 601 around Bamberg. Please head to your tornado safe place, away from any exterior portions of your home, away from any windows as well. Anything that can keep you as far inward and as safe as possible. A basement works as well, a bathroom, a stairwell underneath the stairwells, things like that, as well as some protection as far as blankets, pillows, or maybe even a helmet. These are going to be the types of things that can help you stay as safe as possible as this continues to move off to the east. And so we'll watch this tornado warning closely, Sandra. Can we zoom back out really quick just to make sure the National Weather Service allowed for both of these warnings to expire a little farther to our north, the ones that we just had in effect here? Okay, so that's good for us. The polygons are gone, and so that means Columbia's safe, everyone is safe inside. And remember, we brought you the first alert to this yesterday, Adam and Vaughn issuing this first alert weather day for the possibility of strong storms, and at times we have had some strong storms this morning, and our cold front has kept enough of its pace throughout the night and into this morning as to why we were able to have these strong thunderstorms, and that's why we've got severe thunderstorm warnings, and at times we've had some tornado warnings as well. And so just keep in mind that there is going to be a little bit of a continuation as we continue to watch this line off to the north and to the east. And we've got Alex Ailey with us this morning. And Alex, what are you seeing?
Thank you, Chandler. Yeah, we're taking a look over downtown Columbia right now. We can see that rain. It's coming down. We see those droplets on our camera. We can actually even hear it from inside of the studio. Another thing I want to touch on is, as of right now, no flights at the Columbia Metropolitan Airport have been canceled. That's another thing we will keep our eye on, keep on tracking. As our team here is looking into all of this information, be sure to download our free WIS News 10 weather app to stay up to date with the latest information as we track these storms as they are coming down. But we'll send it over to meteorologist Sandra Brogan with more on what we're seeing right now. Sandra, how are those conditions looking out there?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Well, we are seeing on radar, we're seeing that line of showers and storms continuing to move eastward. And, as of now, the only tornado warning that we have in effect is for portions of Bamberg County. So Chandler was looking at that earlier, and it looks like it has moved now to the east of Olar and continuing towards the east. I'm checking to see if they've issued any updates on the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have in effect for much of the Midlands. And it's due to that line of showers and storms that continues, and mainly due to the potential for some strong gusty winds. It could produce damage. It could lead to damage on power lines and trees, and that could lead to power outages. So again, still take severe thunderstorm warnings seriously, as well as it could lead to power outages. Of course, it's not as high of a threat as a tornado warning, but again, you can still have heavy rain leading to ponding of water in the roads. You don't want to be driving in this. So again, this is continuing to move eastward about 35 miles per hour, it looks like. So again, just to show you some of the counties that are under the tornado warning, we're showing Calhoun, Kershaw, Lexington, Richland, all under a severe thunderstorm warning, until 10:30 this morning. And they are showing that a tornado is possible, but they're not really seeing the rotation as of right now. Now, we are seeing that they have issued a tornado warning for portions of Bamberg County to our south, and that is in effect for areas, it looks like now, under the gun east of Olar. So that tornado warning is in effect until 10:45, and it continues eastward at about 35 miles per hour as well. So I just want to zoom out and show you some of the areas that are going to see the rain moving in. And the good news with this system is that it should be a quick mover. In fact, it should be out of here about around, maybe even before lunchtime, this line of showers and storms, thus that severe weather threat that we're tracking for you this morning. But just going in closely to show some of the areas that are seeing the severe thunderstorm moving across. We've got the warning issued for severe thunderstorm warning for Ridgeway up towards Lake Wateree. You're getting the heavy rain right now, not seeing a lot of lightning, which is some good news, but again, we are seeing that quick, heavy downpour moving. It looks like Blythewood, just south of you, are getting some very heavy rain. But again, no tornado warnings, just severe thunderstorm warning for these areas that I'm showing you on the screen right now. So again, the only tornado warning that we have at this time is for Bamberg County until 10:45.
Yeah, and so we still have this tornado warning. I was just going to quickly read through here, Sandra. I'm getting a report from the National Weather Service. This is from Trenton, or 6 miles to the west and southwest of Trenton, near Edgefield, South Carolina, and there's some trees reported down at the Bettis Academy School. And so, again, that's going to be near Edgefield, South Carolina, 6 miles to the south and southwest of Trenton. Trees reported down at the Bettis Academy School, and so that's going to be in association with some of what was a little bit earlier, some rain and thunder and a severe thunderstorm warning that moved through. And so we've got this from the National Weather Service here. If we could really quickly, Sandra, would you be able to pause this for me, and we can talk and turn over to velocity really quickly, and we can look at right around State Highway 362. We've got Highway 601, Highway 78 as well. That's where this particular tornado warning is currently in effect, and this is going to last until 10:45 this morning, and that's going to be for Bamberg County. And so this is what this current warning is, and this is the only tornado warning that we have at this time around Bamberg County until 10:45 this morning. And so this will continue to move off to the east at about 30 miles per hour. And so if we can we get a storm track there? Oh, there's the rotation, Sandra, just to the east now of Olar. And that's going to move over Highway 301 and Highway 601. So where you see these reds and greens trying to come together, this couplet or this pairing of the reds and greens, this is where the tornado warning is currently in effect. And so this is going to continue to move towards Highway 301, Highway 601, and as long as there isn't a deviation or a change in this couplet, it's going to be just to the south of downtown Bamberg. So downtown Bamberg, you are currently not in the polygon. I would say, just to be on the safe side, be close to or in your tornado safe place. But if you live in Bamberg County along Highway 301, Highway 601, State Highway 362, these are going to be some areas where this couplet or this pairing of reds and greens on our radar are going to continue, and that'll move off to the east as we head throughout the next little bit, and that's going to move eastward at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. And so this will continue to chuck along right through Bamberg County. State Highway 362, you're a part of this warning that's in effect as well, and we're getting a new scan into the First Alert Weather Center. And so the scan in particular, this is going to be where we're keeping an eye out for this opportunity for this tornado warning to continue off to the east, and that's going to be at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So just to the south of Bamberg, you are out of this polygon. I would say hang out around your tornado safe place just to be safe. And you can see the updated polygon as well. They shaved off Olar. So Olar, you can come out of your tornado safe place at this time. Highway 321, if you live up and down that, you can come out of your tornado safe place at this time. But we still have parts of Bamberg County included within this as well. Highway 601, State Highway 362, just to the south of Bamberg. That's where we're going to have this opportunity for us to continue to watch this closely. And if we can, upstairs, can we take a look at downtown Columbia, see how things are going right now? And okay, so thank you all for getting that for me. A lot of the rain, at least the heaviest of rain and the leading edge, making its way through Columbia already. And so that's some good news, is that we're starting to get rid of what is the core of these showers and thunderstorms. What we still have for the Midlands, at least about another hour or so, if not an hour and a half to 2 hours, of this line of thunderstorms to continue to make its way through. I'm checking out the National Weather Service. I'm not seeing anything as far as damage or other than the tree damage I was telling you about. That's near Bettis Academy School, and that's going to be 6 miles to the south and southwest of Trenton in Edgefield, South Carolina, or Edgefield County. And so other than that, though, we still have this tornado warning that's continuing for Bamberg County until 10:45 this morning, and that'll continue through parts of Bamberg towards State Highway 362. And if we can, upstairs, we've got team coverage continuing. Chief Meteorologist Adam Clark is with us this morning. And Adam, it looks like, we've had this line of storms passing through, and we'll get your camera and all that good stuff squared away. But yeah, these quick spin up tornadoes in nature, they pulse up, they pulse down, and they oftentimes can happen or fall apart just as quickly as they come together. Exactly. It's extremely a quick thing that can occur. And so what Chandler's been doing all morning here is just kind of showing you, this is called velocity. It shows you where the air is coming in and where it's going out. And this is how we can see rotation. Because with a lot of these storms that we get, we're looking at they're rain wrapped. You're not going to be able to see them quite as well. So just a quick little spin up along these storms. So we're going to be here with you throughout this whole system, because it's just there's enough energy out ahead of it that supports all this activity. And Chandler, know that I got you a glass of water over there. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Over there. So just south of Bamberg, we've got this one system, one warning until 10:45. It's a tornado warning. If we could zoom out just a little bit so we can get a big picture. There's several thunderstorm warnings. Of course, most of the Midlands under some sort of warning. So we're just south of Orangeburg. So our folks down in Bamberg, we've got a tornado warning for you, and we're waiting to see if we get this spin up, if it continues into Orangeburg County. But Columbia, our heaviest rain has just pushed over to the east. So pretty much we are in the clear here around Columbia, all the way up to the north into Fairfield County. It's just in the eastern sections of Fairfield County. And know that there is a tornado watch. So yes, you're just under a warning right now, a thunderstorm warning, but any location throughout the Midlands, one of these thunderstorms could spin up a tornado. So that's what we're watching for. So there's a tornado watch until 1 o'clock this afternoon. This is a fast-moving system. So it's going to be out of here in the eastern sections of Clarendon and Sumter and Lee County by around 1 o'clock or so. So we've got that going for us. But because it's moving so fast, we get some turbulence. And we've got that line just marching its way to the east. So folks in Camden, you need to be on the lookout. Also Orangeburg, you've got two warnings, one south of town, one west of town, and some very heavy rain starting to push
to the east. So where I would be more suspect of seeing some sort of rotation would be along here in areas, yeah, Chandler, that's great, and around Richland County and also areas of Kershaw County. So we're stretching that out so we can kind of show you how many towns are affected here. From Camden at 1042, Eastover at 1044, Somerton at 1107, 1117 in Sumter, and Maysville around 1132. So if you're west of Columbia, you're in the clear. But if you're east of Columbia, you're going to see this line move through in about an hour or so. So Maysville, you're in about an hour, you'll actually get this storm coming in. And radar indicated tornado is still showing. It's remaining in effect until 10:45 for central Bamberg County. I know our friends down in Bamberg, they do get us over the air, and it looks like there is a little bit of a hook there on that last image, but you can see the rotation likely right around here, I'm thinking. I'm seeing the strongest just south of 301. So if you could really zoom in and show the streets right around here. Yeah. And zoom in and get those streets up so people can actually see. So this is 601, a little bit farther in if we can. I don't know, Bamberg might be just outside of our area.
Bamberg's to the south.
Yeah. So it looks like we've got 362 here. And it looks like just up to our north area, we can zoom back out. It looks like it's not working. 601. And so right here, we've got our rotation. So just brand new update right there. And so if you're anywhere in this area, if you know somebody along Highway 601 in Bamberg, please make sure they are staying safe and they know that there's a tornado warning, because a lot of folks aren't watching TV right now. They might not have the WIS First Alert weather app, and they might not know that there's an actual tornado warning. So it's always best to be on the safe side. And we're still watching for this line right here. It has marched to the east. So Branchville, now we're getting into Orangeburg County. Branchville, this storm is headed towards you at 1040. So 1040 is when we're expecting it. So another 10 minutes and it's right over you. That's how fast this is moving. And so if you're in that area, and Chandler, you've got some new information?
Yeah, so this is for everyone upstairs, if they could pass this along to the newsroom for me. Getting a report from the National Weather Service in Newberry County, 6 miles to the north and northwest of Newberry. Trees reported down on Beaver Dam Creek Road. So again, trees reported down. That's Beaver Dam Creek Road. That's 6 miles to the west and northwest of downtown Newberry. And so that's going to be from a little earlier this morning when we had this initial line of thunderstorms arrive around 9 o'clock. And again, that's trees down on Beaver Dam Creek Road, Adam. That's something that I just seen come into our communication service with the National Weather Service.
That's great. Yeah. And so this is our app right there. This is a great time to go ahead and scan this and download it. It's absolutely free. You can you can actually track these storms in real time with your radar as you seek shelter. So as you seek shelter, you can actually take us with you. Looks like there's a brand new warning there, Chandler. Just south of Bamberg. This one's until 10:45. Tornado warning until 10:45 tonight. This morning, and it's moving east at around 35 miles per hour. Is this a thunderstorm warning or?
This is a new severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to zoom out and get this pulled up for us, and I'm going to put the reflectivity back up. Yeah. So this big polygon here. So this is going to be where the new warning is issued. This one right here, Adam.
Yeah, and this one is until, looks like
11:15 this morning.
11:15.
And I'll zoom in a little bit, and I'll put a storm track on it for us.
So this is what I was saying. So what this warning also says is that there's a tornado possible. So this warning says, yes, we could have winds up to 55 miles per hour. We can have quarter-size hail or so. And Also, there's rotation within these storms, and they could pop up an actual tornado within this area. So Dalzell around 10:53, Sumter at 10:58, Manning at 11:10, and Turbyville around 11:21. So these are our towns that will be impacted here in the next hour or so as this storm moves through. In Orangeburg, you've got some very heavy rain, not a lot of lightning. Sandra was talking about that earlier, and yeah, there's not a lot of lightning out there currently, but down to the south around Orangeburg, we have a couple strikes here and there. It's just a fast-moving system that's causing enough turbulence to give us the chance of some tornadic activity. So Cameron, you're about to get some very heavy rain here. Orangeburg, it is down. There you've got downpours in your neighborhood there, and no tornado warning. There's a thunderstorm warning, so yes, winds of 55 are possible. And if you live just east of Orangeburg, around Ellery, bring in the trash cans. It was trash day for me, so I hope we brought in the trash cans. I just left. I just came on home. But as you can see, this is a tornado warning here. It looks like most of the activity has moved out of the warned area. So as far as the radar goes, it still seems there's a little rotation just south of Highway 78. And also around, there could be a little bit of activity down towards 362. So a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect till 10:45 for southeastern Calhoun, southwestern Clarendon, and east central Bamberg and central Orangeburg counties. So that's a new warning there. So this is what Chandler's like highlighting just south and east of Bamberg. It's making its way to the east towards Orangeburg County. So if you live in Orangeburg right here, just south of Roseville, west of Branchville, please know that there's no warning yet for you, but we're just going to watch this system. If it continues to show this rotation, the National Weather Service will issue a new warning, and we'll actually have, have to track it throughout Orangeburg County. So just be on the safe side. Make sure everybody in the family knows, like, hey, there's a possibility of some rotation, and we need to make sure that everybody stays safe. You're in the lowest level of your home, and making sure you're away from those windows. We just were highlighting that yesterday. It is Severe Weather Awareness Week, and we were talking about it yesterday, just making sure your tornado safety, and know that everybody needs to know where to go. And that's the lowest level of the home, away from those windows, all right? And as you can see, this system moving east at around 35 to 45 miles per hour. Is that what it's showing?
Yeah, moving east at about 45 miles per hour. One thing I was just going to note, Adam, our guidance as far as the progression of this across the Midlands, it's a little bit faster than what we were talking about a little earlier this morning, and that's always some good news to get the storms out of here quicker. But of course, as they're moving quicker, that means there's more wind energy, more spin available, and I think that's why we really saw this line come together and stay together as it moved across the Midlands. Remember, in Georgia and upstate South Carolina earlier this morning on Sunrise, we were talking about some of these warnings that were in effect, and this line, Adam's really been able to hold its way together. But looking at the broader view, it looks like, as far as the current timing of these storms, we'll zoom on out here and we'll get back over to our reflectivity product, and we'll put out another storm track, this one off to the east at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. And so, if this pace continues, Adam, it looks like as we head through at least, the next hour or so, we're going to be able to see a lot of these storms clear east of I-95 by midday today and into the early afternoon. And, that'd be good news, Adam, for the tornado watch to slowly start to get canceled.
Yeah, exactly. The models yesterday started to show this heavy band. Both our in-house model and the HRRR, they showed something like this, and that's why we issued that first alert weather day. It was like, well, that's something that it hadn't been shown throughout this week, and I was happy that we were able to put out the first alert weather day yesterday in case this would happen. It was a low risk, but it came true. My goodness, we've got the heavy rain in Orangeburg, a tornado warning currently in Bamberg County. It looks like most of that reflectivity is outside of that warned area in Bamberg, and here's the motion of it. And it looks like the tornado warning for central Bamberg County will expire at 10:45. So they're just going to allow this one to expire. So that's the good news there. It looks like most of the reflectivity is out of there. So Branchville, you've got the heavier rain right now. Roseville, Bowman, nothing yet, but it's on the way. So we're going to expect winds gusting up to 55 miles per hour, heavy downpours. We haven't seen much in the way of hail with this, so that's the good news there. And in Orangeburg, you can see heavy downpours still in that region. And Chandler's going to show us and give us some times around Vance and Harleyville where we can expect this activity. So Bowman at 10:42, Vance at 10:58. So just 20 minutes in Vance. Lake Marion around 11:08, Somerville at 11:19, and Moncks Corner around 11:30. So St. Matthews, it looks like up towards St. Matthews, the brunt of it is just south of town, and we've got some very heavy rain that's just now, it's pushed east of Bamberg, so that warned area in Bamberg, that's pretty much expired. All the rotation has pushed to the east there, and but still, any one of these storms can pop up a tornado, and so that's why we're going to stick with it for a while. As you can see, down towards Smokes, all the way up to the north. Columbia, again, we are out of it. But we're just seeing some showers. Our heavier rain has passed through the region and is continuing to the east into eastern Richland County. Camden, you're about to see some heavy rain and some gusty winds. We could see gusts up to around 55 miles per hour. There is a tornado watch until 1 o'clock. So sure, we've got the warnings. That means that yes, you're going to get some rain, you're going to get some wind, but the watch means the ingredients are there for a tornado. So at 10:39 Camden, 11:01 Sumter, Manning at 11:07, Moncks Corner 11:20, and Charleston at 11:31. So it's really moving. Is it up to 35 or it's
55?
55 miles per hour. Yes, I mean I was like that doesn't make sense. It was like it must have sped up even more. So that this is one strong front, and our temperatures throughout the day will fall. So if you haven't left the house yet, make sure you take the jacket with you because it's going to be in the 50s by this afternoon. That's how strong this front is. But currently we've got very heavy rain down towards Orangeburg, some gusty winds. The tornado warning is allowed to expire in about 5 minutes, but as you can see, the rotation is over to the east. And let's look and see if we can find some rotation within these cells. And it looks like there is some red and green next to each other, but nothing too terribly robust around Westville, just west of Westville. In 521, we've got a little rotation there, but no new warnings posted as of yet. But again, Camden, you're about to get this heavy downpour, gusty winds. It's in Elgin currently. I wonder if we can pull up our camera in Elgin, our tower cam in Elgin.
Yeah,
so,
upstairs.
Master Control, could you kind of work on that for me? And because it's going to be, we're going to see some really dark clouds on that camera. Now, Lake Wateree, you're pretty much done. Pontiac, you've just got some steady rain currently, where I would expect the gusty winds and the heavy rain is in Elgin, pressing to the east. So Camden, in the next 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to see a pretty hefty downpour. But thunderstorm warning for you. And this thunderstorm warning, let's see, it lasts until 11:15 or
yes,
11:15?
11:15.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so this one's until 11:15. Fort Jackson, you're pretty much on the eastern side of it. Eastover, we've got some heavier downpours. Congaree National Park. All right, you've got the camera?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the camera.
Ooh.
Wow, that's a lot of rain and dark clouds. And you can just see what we're dealing with. This is around Elgin. This is our tower that we've got broadcasting to you all. Our signals sent from here at Bull Street up to this tower right here and out throughout South Carolina, basically. So heavy downpours there in Elgin, and this line is holding together, but all of our tornado warnings, so we still had one down in Bamberg, but that one's pretty much gone. All the line has moved out. Mm-hmm. So currently, as we look back at radar, you can see that Everything is basically trucking to the east at around 55 miles per hour. So Sumter, you're going to see this system here shortly. We'll put a track on it. You can see it's marching to the east. Heavy rain currently down in Orangeburg. Vance, you'll be next here in the next 20 minutes or so. We'll have this line march its way towards you. And Chandler's going to put that up for us. And you can see around Sumter, 11:02, so just 18 minutes or so, or 20 minutes. Manning at 11:06, Kingstree around 11:30, and Florence 11:38. But heavy rain, some very strong winds are a possibility. I haven't seen just that one reported trees down at Beaver Dam Creek Road in Newberry. So far, that's the only report we've got. We'll probably get more reports as the day comes on, goes through. And down towards Orangeburg, though, you're pretty much out of it. Like the heavy rain has pushed over to the east. And Vance, you are next. Chandler?
Yeah, so, that's some good news, Adam. We're 90 seconds, less than 90 seconds from the Bamberg County tornado warning being allowed to expire, and that's going to be this red polygon that you're seeing here, this red box that you're seeing. And like we were talking about, this thing is moving right along with some good pace, 55 miles per hour off to the east. And so that's why the rain itself has outchased or outrun the polygon where the Bamberg County tornado warning was in effect. And so that's how quickly this particular line of showers and thunderstorms is moving. It's going to continue to move off to the east at about 55 miles per hour. So we'll put the storm track back up there for you. If you have any family or friends that live along the I-95 corridor, give them the friendly heads up as to what's going to be headed their way as we head throughout these next 30 to 45 minutes. But if things continue like this, we're going to see just this quick moving line of rain, wind, and thunder, Adam. And I see we have a new damage report in. Yeah,
we've got trees reported down. If we could bring up the storm report, if you can find that. Mm-hmm. And hopefully it'll populate, because this is brand new information right here. But in Richland County, we've had a train spotter report trees snapped at the intersection of Dreer Shoals Road and Garden Brook Drive. Additional trees snapped farther down on Leamington Way. So this is looks like, let's see.
Right on the county line there near Ballantyne.
Right near Ballantyne. Okay, gotcha. So that happened at 9:51 this morning. Thunderstorm wind damage, just what I was just reading you. 9:51. So we've had that. We've had one also up towards Beaver Creek. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see that one in Newberry County, up towards Newberry. So that's the other area where we've got some damage. You can see trees reported down on Beaver Dam Creek Road. That was at 8:52 this morning. So currently, we've got several warnings. Let's zoom out and show those warnings and the timing and how long they're going to last. So another 30 minutes, I believe, around Manning. Sumter, you're in on this warning, and also Camden. You're starting to see the heavy rain push into your region as well. So Chandler's going to put the line on there. We've got it set to 55 miles per hour, and everything's pressing over to the east at 55. So Sumter at 11:02, and Hartsville around 11:16, Kingstree around 11:29, and Florence 11:39, Somerton around 10:56. So Somerton right here, this line making its way to the east. So currently heavy downpours, gusty winds, and looks like we might have a new warning down to the south. Is that correct, or did I see something? I think they might have shaved off one part of the warning. That's
a new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Calhoun, Clarendon, and Orangeburg counties. Gotcha. So this is going to be
until 11:30.
And so that's going to be that area you were just talking about near Bowman.
Yeah, Bowman, Vance, Holly Hill. All seeing this heavy rain and the potential for tornadoes as well. So they're saying that, we'll get winds up to 55. That's a possibility with this. But we're also watching for tornadic activity as it presses east towards Vance And looking at Santee around 10:53, Vance at 10:59, Lake Marion 11:09, Lake Moultrie 11:21, and St. Stephen around 11:31. So here's the line making its way to the east. It's about to cross I-95. And as it does so at 55 miles per hour, it itself is moving 55 miles per hour. So that tells you that, yes, this storm has a punch with it. In fact, that it is actually moving at the speed of which needs to be warned, right? So that's what we've got here. It looks like there was another damage report over towards Edgefield, Edgefield County looks like it had a damage report there. In Trenton, trees reported down at Bettis Academy School Road. So just up to the north, though, Camden, you've got some heavy rain currently. It's coming down pretty hard here around Camden. Bishopville, you're next with this, another 20 minutes or so. It'll be on top of you, and we're watching for gusty winds, of course, and the potential of tornadic activity. So I'm going to make sure that we're all clear here. Looks like, severe thunderstorm warning. Winds around 60 miles per hour is a possibility with these storms. So 11:04 Sumter, Hartsville, 11:19 Turbyville, around 11:22. So, and Florence, 11:41. So as this line makes its way to the east, at 55 miles per hour, it itself brings damaging winds. That's what I was saying before. And these winds could actually create some turbulence in the atmosphere and have a quick spin-up tornado. That's what the concern is. There's a tornado watch until 1 o'clock for the entire Midlands as this system makes its way through. So that's what we've got. Tornado watch until 1 o'clock. That means the ingredients are there, right? And the actual line of storms making its way to the east, that has winds at 55 miles per hour. It itself is moving at 55 miles per hour, right? And as it moves at 55 miles per hour, that itself, it brings damage. And so the warnings that we've got coming through, it's up to 60 miles per hour. So we could see 60 mile per hour winds with all of these storms making the way to the east. Chandler.
We've got a new storm report that's into the First Alert Weather Center. I'm going to get this back into play mode really quickly here. Again, a friendly reminder, tornado watch remains in effect until 1 p.m. Once it is deemed safe by the National Weather Service, they'll begin to get these counties out of the tornado watch that's in effect. I'm going to show you really quickly here this new storm report that's just coming in, and this one is going to be near Gaston, near Lexington this morning. And so we'll zoom on in a little bit closer so you can see as to where this is located. Again, that's going to be just off of State Highway 6 and Highway 176, as well as Interstate 26 in this particular report. Near Gaston is of trees down near Pine Plain Road and Mack Street. And again, this is going to be thunderstorm wind damage that is assumed. So as of now, of course, we'll keep an eye out for if the National Weather Service is going to send anybody out as far as to take a look at some of this damage that we've gotten so far. And I will say, Adam, this thing is moving pretty quickly across the region, and the silver lining is that once the heavy rain arrives, the wind arrives, once it passes through on the west side or the back side of this, we've just got some general run-of-the-mill rain. The winds, they're still there, but they're not as strong as the leading edge of the cold front. And the more good news is that, the severe weather threat pretty much drops to just about zero once you get this leading edge to pass through.
Yeah, that's the only concern for the rest of the day today. We've got a lake wind advisory. We'll see gusts up to around 30 miles per hour once this front comes through. But the danger lies in this initial line, and that was the concern yesterday, and that's why we issued the First Alert Weather Day. We're like, ooh, that looks like a kind of a hefty line that comes through. So we went ahead and did the First Alert Weather Day just in case this happened, and boom, it did. And we've got the heavy rain in and around Somerton, and down to the south, it's Orangeburg Orangeburg, you're out of it. You're in the clear. You're okay. Sumter, this line's coming towards you, so winds up to around 60 miles per hour. That's the possibility for you. Manning, 1104. Hartsville, 1114. Kingstree, 1131. And Florence, around 1140 or so. So Columbia, we've just got some heavier rain falling. I can hear it on our rooftop, but we're out of the warning here in Columbia. And Irmo, West Columbia, Casey, we're okay. Just some steady rain happening right now, just east of Lake Wateree. That's where the line is making its way to the east at 55 miles per hour. There's a tornado watch until 1 o'clock. Thunderstorm warning until 11:30, so you can see the entire region. This morning, the National Weather Service went ahead and issued this tornado watch until 1 o'clock, and it's going to continue till 1 until this line moves over to the east. So I wouldn't be surprised if they start shaving off some of the counties to the west from Saluda and Newberry, but until then, we're just under the gun as this line kind of makes its way to the east. And what we're doing is we're watching for a little bit of rotation. So let's put it on the last frame and turn on velocity just to see if we've got any of that rotation showing up. And I'm not really seeing all that much in our area at all. So that's the good news there. But Sumter starting to see the wind, at least. The wind is getting stronger as this system makes its way to the east. But that's the good news right now, not seeing as much rotation, but just a line of storms marching through our northeastern sections of the Midlands, from northern sections of Kershaw County to our east around Sumter at around 55 miles per hour. And down to the south, we've got Somerton, St. George, Orangeburg. Everything is pressed to the east. And as we head into as we head throughout this evening, we want to make sure that you are aware that we can download our app, our news app, our weather app, and you can track these storms within that. Chandler?
Yeah, that's great information. You know, we've got our First Alert weather app. You can track the showers and storms just like we do. You can get there by scanning that QR code that's on your screen, and that QR code will take you to your phone's app store to where we can download the First Alert weather app, and that's also where we're going to be able to track showers and storms, just like the First Alert weather team does, if you wanted to be just like us and look at their radar. But also, you know, one of my favorite parts about the app, Adam, is that it takes a pinpoint part of your location where you live, and if it's a watch, a warning, whatever it might be, it sends it right to your phone.
Yeah, and it's pretty handy to have. It can wake you up. You can set it to wake you up. You can have it silent if you want, but in situations like these, we're able to tell you, hey, there's a warned area. We're looking at the possibility of thunderstorms.
And I are going to just be with you to talk a little bit while Adam and Chandler are still going live, I believe, on air. But in terms of the tornado watch, it includes all of the Midlands, and it is until 1 p.m. So the good news is that if we can go to radar, if I can have my graphics pop up, that some of that line has already moved east of some of the Midlands, so that's some good news there. But again, if we can take max 2, so I can just show you the radar real quickly. Let me see if I can get this going. Well,
We'll pull up some updates also. We've been keeping an eye too on some of that damage. We did learn reports of trees down on Beaver Creek Road that is in Newberry County. We reported that about 30 minutes ago on air. But Sandra, you have more updates for us.
Yeah, our first alert weather day continues because we're still seeing strong storms across the area. You know, we've had a couple of tornado warnings. The good news is that as we look at first alert radar, the line of showers and storms bringing that severe weather threat has pushed east of most of the Midlands. Now behind it, we still have some light rain, but as you can see, those yellows and reds and oranges, that is the line that we're tracking. And as of right now, no tornado warnings. We did have a couple earlier this morning, and we have not seen any reports of damage with it. I think we did have a report of trees down. Is that right, Alex?
Again, yeah, we do have trees down on Beaver Creek Road, which is in Newberry County. We learned that about 30 minutes ago, so we are keeping an eye on that. Other reports of damage are unclear at this time, but we will keep you updated as we learn more information. But I'll bring it back to you, Sandra.
Yeah, I'll just go through what we have right now active, which is severe thunderstorm warnings. One of those is for southeastern Calhoun County, southern Clarendon County, and southeastern Orangeburg County. So again, this is the severe thunderstorm polygon. Yes, that's right. Thank you. This is in effect until 11:30, and then one above that for Clarendon, Kershaw, Lee, and Sumter, severe thunderstorm warning through 11:15. So we've got 15 to 30 more minutes to go before the severe weather threat looks like it's going to be out of here. We've been talking about it all morning and even yesterday that this is a quick moving cold front, and so it is likely that this is going to be out of here before lunchtime. So some good news there, but I know it did wake everyone up pretty much this morning. So as we take a look, we have a cold front, but not just that, we have an area of low pressure, and so the winds around an area of low pressure go counterclockwise, and so we're seeing a lot of wind shear, and so this front is also a fast mover, and so we had these spin-ups, or possible spin-ups happening quickly. So, at times a rotation would show in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and then it would be gone. So we had some quick rotation, nothing ever reaching the ground. Some good news there. So we never had a tornado sighted or confirmed, but because of that mid-level rotation indicated by Doppler radar, the National Weather Service issued a couple of tornado warnings for the Midlands, also in Bamberg County. So 3 tornado warnings issued earlier, no longer in effect. So as we take a look at future radar, we go and put this into motion and show you that, this is going to continue to move quickly out of the area. In fact, by around lunchtime, we may have just a few spotty showers possible for our extreme easternmost communities, such as in Clarendon County, also stretch up towards Chester, maybe a spotty shower, wraparound showers on the backside of that area of low pressure as it moves away. So again, we are going to see much, much, much improvement as we go into the next hour, or within the next hour, I should say, because those warnings that I was talking about, they're going to be in effect for really just the next 15 to 30 minutes. Good news, not tornadic, but severe thunderstorm warnings continuing for those areas. And I'll go back to first alert radar here in just a few moments. But right now we're looking live, Alex, with our camera here in Columbia atop the studios, and you can see the wet roads and the water droplets on the lens there.
Yeah, Sandra, we could even hear the rain coming down a couple minutes ago. It was definitely pretty loud out there. But another thing I want to touch on, if you are flying out of Columbia today, now is a good time to definitely check the flight status and make sure your flight isn't canceled or delayed. We were just looking a couple minutes ago. There are a few delays. So again, good time to make sure you are scheduled to be on track today. You can head and check that out. Another thing, too, is I wanted to talk about as soon as this weather kind of clears out, Sandra, what are the temperatures going to be like? Are we getting really cold? Are we staying kind of humid?
Well, actually, today, because of that cold front, it's moving through quickly, so that cooler air, sometimes there's a lag behind cold fronts, but not always, and not this one, because that cooler air is going to move in quite quickly today. Right now, we're at 61 degrees, and we'll likely have temperatures dropping through the day. We'll drop into the 50s, I think, for later this afternoon. So that cool air is going to rush in, and tonight our temperatures will be down into the 30s.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we are dropping a lot, but we're going to wrap this up with all of our weather updates, but be sure and download our WIS First Alert Weather app, where you can get the latest updates straight to your smartphone. You just turn on those push notifications, and you can stay informed. So thanks so much for joining us this afternoon, and we'll see you later.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to keep going with you here. So temperatures right now, 62 in Columbia, 61 with rain in Lexington. You know, the heaviest of the rain, let's see, I can try to go back to first alert radar real quickly, and forgive me for kind of blasting through the graphics, but I can show you where the heaviest of the rain is right now, and it looks like it is moving now across Clarendon County. In fact, some really heavy rain. Could have some hail with that storm, where you see that really dark shading of red, almost like burgundy. Not seeing a lot of lightning with it right now, but again, you know, we're seeing some heavy rain. This will likely, you know, is causing ponding of water on the road. So, you know, even if we do not have a tornado warned storm, you know, these are severe thunderstorms that are moving through, putting down some heavy rainfall. Visibility's very low when you have rain falling that heavily, and so this is something definitely you don't want to be out driving in. If you can wait, just wait for this line to pass by, and you'll just have to deal with light showers. So, you know, just wait for this line to pass by. If you're watching us from portions of Clarendon County, Sumter County, up towards Kershaw and Lee counties, and also eastern portions of Orangeburg County. So especially in Clarendon and Sumter, we've got some really heavy rain that's moving through portions of your area, northwestern portions of Clarendon, and southern portions of Sumter County. And we are starting to see a little bit of lightning with that storm as well. So if you're watching us from Sumter, you're seeing some very heavy rain just towards your south, but also you've got some heavy rain moving into your area from the west.
All right, we're going to take a quick look at some pictures and videos of the weather activity around the area that we have in just a couple minutes. But Sandra, I do want to move on really quickly because this week is recognized as Severe Weather Safety Week. We were just talking about tornado drills the other day and what that looks like. When it comes to finding a safe space during a tornado, what do you recommend going to? Where do you recommend being?
You always want to put as much between you and the storm, so it's always recommended to go to the lowest level of wherever you are. If that's your home, if you have a basement, great, go to your basement. If you don't, you want to go to the lowest level of your home in the most interior room. So the idea is really to put as much, you know, between you and the storm, as many walls between you and the storm to provide that protection for you. So, you know, so it's always a good idea. You know, right now we do not have any tornado warnings in effect for the area. Just want to clarify that real quickly. But, you know, think about it now. Where would you go in your home, or where would you go at work? You know, have an idea, because seconds matter. You want to know exactly what you're going to do if a warning is issued for your area. So just take some time to figure out where that location, where your safe place would be should a warning be issued for your area.
Definitely. I know another thing we talked about was having an emergency safety kit with you available, ready to go, packed with essential items that you might need in case something like this happens. You know, that happens very quickly. We can't always predict when this is going to come up. Of course, we're going to keep our eyes on it. But again, like having those items that you can take with you in case of an emergency that will last you at least 72 hours, I think is what we're saying. Just super important to be thinking about those things.
Yeah, and always take shoes, you know, because in a worst case scenario, a tornado, you know, does happen, and you don't want to be barefoot, you know, when you're walking through, you know, debris or rubble or anything like that. And of course, that's the worst case scenario. And again, just to clarify, there are no tornado warnings right now, but we do have several severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for our eastern Midland counties at this time. But the good news is that line is just about out of here. So we are seeing the heavy rain now moving through portions of Clarendon County, eastern Orangeburg County, Sumter County, Lee County, and also up towards Kershaw County, and it is continuing eastward. And here's a look at your 10-day forecast. Again, we'll continue this first alert weather day until we get that line of showers and storms out of here and no longer have that severe weather threat. And just want to let you know, we've likely already hit our high for the day. Temperatures are going to plummet through the day. Cold air is going to rush in behind that front. And we were talking about the, you know, knowing what to do should you have a tornado warning issued for your area. We are looking. Just want to show you a picture of Blythewood Middle, where the students were under their desk in preparation, you know, should a tornado actually occur. Because, you know, these spin-ups, you know, you could have spinning in the upper levels of the atmosphere, the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and not reaching the ground, but it can touch down and go back up. So this is something that you need to know, to always be prepared should a tornado actually, should that circulation actually reach the ground. Again, it was showing where they were prepared earlier. I believe that line's already passed east of Blythewood, so some good news there. But just showing, what they did at school when they had that tornado warning in effect. And right now, I believe we have
a video of a water spout in Lake Murray, so we're going to quickly show you what that's looking like.
So yeah, you can see the circulation, reaching the water there. You can kind of see that water spray where the circulation reached down, and these can come ashore. So water sprouts can, they can do damage as well. But we did not see any reports of any damage in that area. So, again, good news there. I believe, was it the only report of trees down? Where did?
The latest report of trees down, Beaver Creek Road in Newberry County. So that is what we know so far. Another thing that we should bring up too, if you are traveling today, if you do have flights out of Columbia, we did see a couple flights are delayed, not canceled. But be sure to check the status of your flight to make sure that you can get to your destination, or if you do have any delays, you are prepared for a little bit of wait time.
Yeah, and Alex, you mentioned those trees down in Newberry County. I believe I saw a report of a wind gust 52 miles per hour earlier this morning. So it's probably that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It brought the trees down. And also something, these types of storms, it could bring a branch down, just the branch onto a neighboring power line, and we could have power outages that way. I'm going to look and see, have you heard of any power outages in the area?
I have not heard of any power outages so far.
Let's see, I'll try to get back to, we'll take a look at the 10-day forecast, and then I'll try to get back to the first alert radar just to show you what we have going on now. But, we've likely reached our high for the day. Temperatures will be falling. It is going to get colder this afternoon than what it is out there right now. So temperatures will likely be into the 50s, falling through the 50s, I should say, this afternoon. And tonight, something that we have not seen in a while, 30s.
That's
Alex.
crazy. I'm looking at 71, I'm looking at 35.
Yeah.
Big change between those numbers for sure.
Change.
I mean, especially being in the 80s for so many days previously, and now we're going into 35. That's a drastic change we're seeing.
For tomorrow morning, you'll need to dig that winter coat back
Absolutely.
out of the closet.
I thought I was putting that away for good. But
no short sleeves or shorts today. I mean, tomorrow, or even today, I should say, because later it's going to get, quite chilly. We also have a lake wind advisory in place until 8 p.m. National Weather Service issuing that because we could have gusts up to 35 miles per hour. So we'll, even after the cold front moves through, those winds will still be kicking up quite a bit behind the front. And looking at downtown Columbia, again, it looks like the rain has let up quite a bit. It looks like there in the distance we are seeing a little bit of clearing. So again, let me just go back to first alert radar and just show you real quickly. Again, there's that cold front with that area of low pressure, and here's what we're dealing with right now. So again, we are starting to see the lightning pick up. So we've got a strong thunderstorm, a severe thunderstorm, I should say, moving through portions of northern Clarendon County and also Sumter County. So I would say downtown Sumter, you're getting heavy rain now, but the strongest of the storm, I think, is just to your southeast. So if you do not have to be anywhere anytime soon, just wait till that passes because it's moving quickly. And I think this is going to be, out of here by 11:30. In fact, I believe that top severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 11:30 or 11:15. Let me check on that real quick. Let's see, the one on the bottom for Clarendon, Orangeburg, and Calhoun, that's in effect until 11:30, and the one above it is in effect until 11:15. So we've got 5 more minutes for Kershaw, Lee counties for that particular severe thunderstorm. But the one below it, where it's really the lightning's really picked up just within the last 10 minutes, we are not seeing any indications of rotation, so some good news there. But look at that heavy rain. That's definitely going to cause it's going to be hard to see if you have to drive in that. So just wait, if you can, until that passes because this is moving quickly.
Definitely. And then let's talk about driving in low visibility and kind of if you can avoid the roads, best thing to do. But if you do have to drive,
take it slow because, that water, it'll pond on the roads. And so, if you're going too fast, you can risk hydroplaning because your tires will literally lose traction or contact with the road. So you just don't want to put yourself in that situation.
Definitely. Well, we are going to go back to some of the pictures that we are looking at. One of the first ones we're looking at is just a video of what the sky is really looking like. Definitely some dark days out there.
Yes, this is, I believe, in Chapin from earlier.
And then we also were talking about, you know, finding a safe place when you are, you know, having these tornado warnings. We did get a picture of some kids at Blythewood Middle School who were actually under their desk,
yes.
you know, in preparation for this. So,
we had a tornado warning earlier, and so no longer a tornado warning for that area, or really for any part of the Midlands at this time. But this is just showing what that class did in preparation. So you can see they are getting under their desk to protect their head and their neck, you know, because worst case scenario, you know, flying debris, that is, you know, the deadliest part of a tornado.
and if you have any photos or videos that you've taken of any activity near you, feel free to send those in to us, WIS. We will accept any of those videos and just kind of help us get a better idea of what's going on around you. It's also a good time to remind you to download our free First Alert Weather app. You can just go straight to your app store, either the Apple or the Android app store, and from there you can turn on those push notifications. Don't miss any of the latest information. We are constantly updating you, constantly keeping our eyes on this, so you can get those straight to your mobile device. Again, that is our free First Alert Weather app.
Okay, and if we have it, the QR code, if we could put that up, that you can put your camera towards and download the First Alert Weather app, or you can go to your Apple store or your app store and just look for First Alert Weather, and you can download it, because it really is a great resource to have. You know, with that said, it has a live radar on there, and really you can look anywhere in the country with it. And also we send you updates all throughout the day, and it sends you notifications should any kind of alert be issued for your area. Even rain, it'll say when, you know, rain is nearby, and of course when lightning is nearby. You know, you just got to set those notifications to receive the information that you want it to give you. So we're trying to find the QR code for you.
We're looking for the QR code where you can just scan and download the app. You can also send in some pictures to us. Again, we're looking for more photos, more videos of just activity around you. You feel free to send those right in to us. WIS News 10, we will take them. We will show them up here on our screen, kind of talk through them as we've been doing this morning.
Yeah, and you know, just to give you an idea of what you could expect later this week, we're watching this line of showers and storms making its way eastward. It looks like it's almost out of Sumter, but unfortunately it's still strong as it's moving through eastern Sumter County. And behind it we've got that light rain, but the strongest, the heaviest of the rain, I should say, is moving through Clarendon County and southern portions of Sumter County. We're also seeing quite a bit of lightning. You know, that's one thing that, you know, earlier this morning we really didn't see a lot of lightning, but it has really ramped up in southern portions of Sumter County. We're also seeing the rain starting to work its way out of Kershaw County, so some good news there. But, you know, we still have some rain, but the severe weather threat, I think, will wind down quite a bit. And they did allow that severe thunderstorm warning to expire at 11:15. So now we're just tracking a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Orangeburg County, Clarendon County, until 11:30. So that looks like what we are continuing to monitor at this time. I'm going to see if there's been anything else coming out on the National Weather Service chat. Let's see, just have to give me a moment. Okay, let's see, we may have had a new warning coming out. Okay, so severe thunderstorm warning for Clarendon County and east central Sumter County. That is the storm that we were talking about. So they are extending the warning for that until noon. So we have been talking about that, talking about how the lightning has really ramped up and how that rain, you really don't want to be out there in that storm. Likely, that it would be very difficult to see while driving in a storm like that. But if you ever do catch yourself in this situation, if you can, pull over and just wait it out. But again, just try to delay your travels if you can, because like I said, this is moving quickly. You're not going to have to wait too much longer, but you definitely want to be inside, and you don't want to be out in a storm like this. So again, just to reiterate, we do not have any tornado warnings at this time. The severe weather threat has pushed east of most of the Midlands, but we are still watching severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Sumter County and Clarendon County until noon, and then eastern Orangeburg County into Clarendon County until 11:30. So about 13 more minutes to go on that bottom severe thunderstorm warning that we have.
Yeah, and something we were talking about a little bit earlier was just staying up to date with all of this information as it comes out. Be sure to download our free First Alert Weather app. We're going to pull up that QR code for you to scan. You can just get it straight off of your phone's app store, and we're also asking for more pictures and more videos. Feel free to send those in to us. We will accept them.
Yeah, and I'm checking with the power outages. I'm not seeing, well, okay, so there's a few power outages being reported. It looks like south of Orangeburg County towards Georgia. So again, not seeing a lot of outages for our area. It looks like we could have a few reported in Newberry. But as of right now, it looks like Bamberg, let's see, Bamberg is reporting close to 500 outages. Let's see. This says Richland County, okay, so close to 950. So, sorry, excuse me from earlier, I just wasn't able to see it on the map. But it says Richland County has some outages. So I think in a situation like this, unlike when we had the wintry weather moving through, the snow and the ice, the crews will be able to get out there, pretty quickly. For anyone that has a power outage right now, the crews will be able to get in there fairly quickly and be able to restore that for you. So it's not going to be anything where they have to wait for safer conditions, because that line is just about, out of Sumter and Clarendon and portions of Orangeburg County.
Yeah, well, it's good about something that can get in there quickly. I know not having power can be very hard. I remember when I first got here and there was the winter storm, and it was, pretty devastating for a lot of the roads and homes, and heating bills got really expensive. So we do have a crew actually on scene, and
let's see, I believe the tornado watch, let me check, it may have been canceled early, or at least part of it. Just give me a moment.
From our crew that we do have on scene, we have some new video from Nick Neville, who is actually in Irmos. We're going to play that video and show you some of the damage that's going on there.
So it looks like, see, the tornado watch has been canceled for part of South Carolina. Aiken, these counties, Aiken, Bamberg, Barnwell, Calhoun, Edgefield, Fairfield, Lancaster, Lexington, McCormick, Newberry, Richland, and Sula. So it looks like the tornado watch has been canceled in those areas. That may be almost everyone. Not quite everyone, but almost. Okay, so you just heard from our chief meteorologist, Adam Clark. He was bringing you up to date on the storms that we have ongoing across parts of the area. The good news is that the storms have cleared a lot of the area. Still seeing some light rain behind that main line of showers and storms, but right now it's working its way out of our eastern Midland County. So we're still under the gun in parts of Sumter County, also Clarendon County. Let's see if we can go back to the radar real quickly and just show you. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for portions of Clarendon County. So this is going to be in effect until noon. And, Alex and I were, we were talking about that storm earlier, about the lightning ramping up, and they issued that severe thunderstorm warning. But it looks like now the lightning started to let up just a little bit. We're just waiting for that really heavy rain to make its way out of all of our counties. And it looks like the worst of the storms now is focused in southern portions of Sumter County down into Clarendon County. So we're continuing to watch this. And also I wanted to show you that, or just notice that on the radar, when you see the yellow switch over to red so quickly, there's like hardly any yellow there. There's green, there's hardly any yellow there along that leading edge. That's an indication that we're getting some really strong winds out of this storm. So straight line winds can do damage also. So again, severe thunderstorm warning continuing for portions of Clarendon County and Sumter County until noon.
Yeah, Sandra, I want to talk about when that weather does clear out of the Midlands, what's going to happen to the temperatures? I think a lot of us are wondering, is it going to stay really warm? Are we going to get really cold? We were talking about a pretty drastic drop in those temperatures compared to what we've been seeing for the past couple of days.
Yeah, we have this cold front moving through and an area of low pressure as well. And so that's given us quite a bit of wind shear through the atmosphere, and that's why we were seeing like some rotation from time to time with this system. But, the good news is it's cold front is almost on its way out. We won't have to deal with it anymore. I mean, we just still have some light to moderate rain across portions of Columbia at this time, but that main line well out to the front in portions of Sumter, Calhoun. And I can see if I can get to the 10-day forecast from here just to show you what you can expect in the coming days. There we go. We've likely already reached our high for the day. You see that 71. We've likely already reached that. And our temperatures, unlike traditional, sunrise to sunset, we usually see temperatures warm through the day, reach our highs in mid-afternoon, and then they start to cool back down. Well, we're seeing that cooler air rushing in behind this cold front, so we've got that temperature drop already happening. So temperatures will be falling through the day. Will likely be into the 50s later on this afternoon. So again, look at that. 35.
Big difference.
Yes.
Yeah, we're noticing 71 to 35 of a drastic drop for sure. So, we're definitely keeping our eyes on that. And I do just want to mention that we do have some new video out of Irmo and an update from Irmo Fire. So let's take a look at that video right now. As you can see, a tree branch has fallen over. We did hear reports of damage a little bit earlier. That was in some trees down in Beaver Creek Road in Newberry County, so that's what we did. We reported that about 45 minutes ago. Again, this is video out of Irmo, just some destruction to one of the trees there.
Yeah, and this just kind of gives you an idea, should this have happened along a power line, then, this neighborhood would be out of power. So just kind of give you an idea, this actually looks like a healthy tree, so just give you an indication of how strong the storms were. And also, that heavy rain saturating the tree branches. And then, you have this wind gust, because straight line winds can do damage as well. And it's probably what happened here, bringing down this tree. And, thankfully it did not come down on the home. It doesn't look like it could reach, but thankfully it did not go in the other direction.
Absolutely. And we do have an update from the Irmo Fire District, and they do say that there are no reports of injuries. They are releasing a statement via social media, saying, planning for a statewide tornado drill yesterday, then hosting an actual tornado warning for the three of us this morning. I mean, look at that. It's kind of crazy how that lined up.
Yeah.
It really is.
an immersive experience.
No, it truly is, for sure. Another thing that we want to remind you, if you are flying today out of CAE and you have flights to different destinations, be sure you're checking the status of your flights, just in case, because we've seen a couple delays. So you just want to make sure you have the most seamless travel as possible. So you can just go online, check the status, and see what's going on.
Sorry, I got tickled. I saw they said something about Sharknado, and no Sharknado happening here.
Nope, not here.
And in relation to that, we haven't, heard of any confirmation of a tornado on the ground. We certainly, we saw the water spout. We certainly have seen rotation in the atmosphere. Doppler radar picking up on that, and why National Weather Service issued those tornado warnings. But thankfully, it doesn't appear as though now that circulation reached the ground. There's the water spout that I just mentioned earlier. So just letting you know, that circulation, sometimes it can hover, and then it can reach the ground. It can touch down briefly, go back up, then touch down again. So that's why I always say treat every tornado warning, and even if it's just radar indicated, treat it as if a tornado has been confirmed, because it could touch back down just across the street from you.
Absolutely. And it is, as we were talking about, severe weather safety week here in South Carolina, and there were some tornado drills just this week, and practicing what to do in this situation, what are some safe spaces that you can go to. I just want to talk to people if they're unfamiliar about where do you go in the situation, whether it is a real situation or it is for practice. It's always good to have a plan in place and know what to do.
Yeah, it's always good to think about it before you're in that moment, because seconds do count. I would say, I know I've probably said it so many times, but just put as many walls between you and the storm. Go to the lowest level of the structure that you're in, in the most interior room as you can, as many walls. You do not want to be near any windows. So, like schools never go into a big gymnasium or auditorium with windows. And we saw a picture of Blythewood Middle School doing exactly what they should do. They got underneath their desk because you want to protect your head and neck from any possible flying debris. And also go into, right there's that picture. So, again, schools, you never want to go into a big, huge open area with windows, because we know we have those in schools, for large gatherings, but you want to avoid windows.
Yeah. Another thing, too, is having an emergency kit with you. I know that was something that was recommended, making sure you have all of your essential items, medications, something just in a pack with you in case of an emergency. You can't always predict when these things are going to happen. It happens very quickly. Just like we saw this morning, we're in a first alert weather day, and then all of a sudden we have some warnings we have to pay attention to.
Yeah, and, I would say, maybe the bathroom is your safe place. Just keep that emergency kit there, all the time. If you can, just keep it there so it's already in your safe place when you run in there. Also have a pair of shoes, I think, in there, because, should the worst case scenario happen, should there be a tornado, and, you have to walk across debris, there's going to be nails, splinters of wood. So you want to have shoes. So you want to have hard-soled shoes.
Yeah, that's definitely some good information.
Because sometimes this can happen. It happened very early this morning,
right.
And you're caught off guard, and you're running to your safe place, and you may not have even thought to bring shoes. But, I know a lot of people, their bathroom is their safe place. You want to, put maybe pillows or something, to protect your head and neck.
Yeah, I mean, situations like today just remind us why those drills are so important that we did see this week. So, just as Irmo Fire District mentioned, they're like, one day we're having a drill, and then the other day it's actually happening. So, again, just making sure that you know what you're doing, and prepping those emergency kits. If you need some guidance, there's a lot of online sources that you can go to. I know the Red Cross, that's something that they're always talking about, is making sure you have an emergency kit, whether it is, a tornado or any natural disaster, really, because they can have it at any time. So having that plan in place.
And I want to go back to the radar, if we can, just to show you what we're dealing with. And again, the temperatures will be dropping through today, and so it'll actually be cooler this afternoon than it is out there right now. And I can actually probably show you current temperatures. Let's see, 62 degrees right now in Columbia with light rain. So again, the bulk of the rain, or I should say that main line of showers and storms that we were concerned with, that prompted severe thunderstorm warnings and also tornado warnings earlier this morning. Again, no tornado warnings in effect right now. it has pushed east, and I can go and zoom in a little bit for you. Here we go. And the one severe thunderstorm warning, or the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have right now, are for portions of Clarendon County, also extreme southeastern portions of Sumter County, and stretching over towards Kingstree as well. So this line is almost out of our viewing area, and we can be able to breathe a sigh of relief and here shortly. So the severe thunderstorm warning is going to be in effect until noon. I think it may clear Clarendon and Sumter County a little bit before that. So, but we'll continue to watch this for you.
Definitely. And another good reminder for everyone who's watching, be sure to download our free First Alert Weather app. You'll get the latest updates straight to your smartphone. All you have to do is go to your phone's app store. It's on the Apple and the Android app store. You can just download it there. Turn on those push notifications. Make sure you're staying in touch with all of the latest information as it's coming out. Just to be informed, you just click right on the article to take you to our page. And we are constantly looking at this as we're doing right now.
Yeah, this is really a great resource to have. And you can point your camera at it if you don't have it, and it will take you to where you can download it. It is free. You can set notifications for the information that you want. We also, each meteorologist, myself, Adam Clark, Chandler Jordan, Vaughn Gaskin, Peyton Garrison, we all give updates through the day, personally tailored. We're not, this is not a computer algorithm spitting out a forecast for you. So we give updates, even when the weather's nice, we give you updates on the weather, and so you can go in and watch these video updates that we do for you on a regular basis throughout the day. But also, I just want to show you some of the things. So again, if you can see, I've got my phone pulled up and the First Alert Weather app, and I think this is really cool. It's got a live radar on there for you, and so you can actually go anywhere in the country. You can use this on vacation.
Definitely.
So you can actually see where there's rain and snow in the Pacific Northwest, and then of course the thunderstorms and even lightning showing up where we're tracking in Sumter County. So again, it's just a great resource to have. So we can go back to our radar and show you where we are seeing the storm now. So again, that cold front is obviously a little bit farther along than when I made that graphic earlier this morning, but this is where we're showing the storms right now. So again, I'm trying to get it back to the radar. There we go. So you can see that strong storm. We could be seeing some small hail with it. It's putting down quite a bit of some heavy rain. This is likely reducing visibility. So again, like we've been saying, you don't want to be out in this, and just delay travels if you can, because it would be hard to see in a storm like that, I would think. And also hydroplaning, that's always a risk because you don't want to be in a hurry. Because I've been on these roads, and even something that's not raining that hard that we're seeing right now, it causes some standing water on the roads, and especially like on the sides. Sometimes you're driving along, and then all of a sudden, you hit it, and there's
scary, especially when there is some traffic too. So if you do have to drive somewhere, just make sure you're taking it very slow, and try to avoid the roads, as Sandra said, if you can, if possible.
Okay. Now again, this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until noon. I'm seeing if the National Weather Service has issued any new information. So again, this is for Clarendon County and in East Central Sumter County until noon. The main concern with this storm, even though we've been talking about the really heavy rain, we can see those, the red and almost even kind of purplish, indicating some really heavy rain. A threat is also 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And so I was talking earlier about how Newberry had a report of 52-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and we saw some damage there. But 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible with the storm as it continues east at about 50 miles per hour. So it's moving pretty quickly. So like I said, I think this line of showers and storms prompting a severe weather threat will be out of here shortly, in fact, before lunchtime.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for all the updates, Sandra. And again, be sure to download our First Alert Weather app, where you can get all of this information right to your phone. Don't miss anything, anywhere, anytime. Again, scan that QR code that you see on your screen right now. It'll take you to the App Store. Just download it. It's on the Apple App Store and the Android App Store. But we're going to now send it over to our broadcast, our midday broadcast, where they'll kind of take it over from there, and we'll keep you updated on there.
Yeah, just make sure you keep it tuned to WIS, because midday, of course, we'll be tracking this for you as well, coming up at noon. But, I think by that time, the main threat will be out of here already. And as of right now, the only severe thunderstorm warning that we have should expire at noon as it continues to make its way out of Sumter and Clarendon counties.